This coming June, I am participating in my first ever art show. It's a privately put on art show with a group of artists that I'm really excited to be a part of. I do have some pieces that I plan to enter into the show, but I really wanted to come up with one larger piece because all my paintings are kind of like small to medium size. And last year I did a series of paintings of paintbrushes that I took photos of at the Mr. Brainwash Art Museum. And I really enjoyed the process of doing those paintings, especially working from my own reference photos and doing paintings of something that really inspires me, like paintbrushes. So I had the idea to do this larger painting. It's going to be 18 by 24, which to some people isn't very big, but when you're doing really detailed oil paintings, that can be pretty big. And I had the idea to do a painting of like an aerial view of paintbrushes kind of laid out neatly in like a collage pattern. And so today I'm going to be prepping the panel for that and taking the reference photo so that I can kind of map everything out and get everything ready to start painting. And I wanted to share that part of the process, and I want to document along the way parts of this painting process. So I'm likely going to do a little bit of a series here on my channel, because if I did this whole painting in one video, it would be a really long video. So we're probably going to do this in parts, and some of these videos will be me talking to the camera, and then some will be painting, and then some might just be a video of me painting with music in the background. So I'm gonna kind of do all different kinds of things for this painting series. And today, like I said, we're gonna start with prepping the panel and getting a really good reference photo. So if you're into that, then stick around. And the first thing that I always do when I prime my wood panels is sand them. I just give them a light sanding. I like to keep the edges sharp still. I don't want to curve them too much, but I just want to kind of smooth out the surface of the wood to be a little bit more even. And then I combine the fluid matte medium and the fluid acrylics titanium white, both from Golden, along with some water to really thin down the paint and make the layers nice and thin so that I can build on them without getting chunky. And then once I have the panel all primed, we can get into taking the reference photo. Okay, so now that we have the panel prepped and the reference photo exists in the world now, I just have to transfer my reference onto the panel, which is kind of a tedious process, but I'll insert some clips here just in case you're curious about how I do this. Basically what I do is I print out the reference photo, which in this case will have to be on multiple pieces of paper because it's a larger panel. and I piece them together and make sure everything is lined up correctly. And then I put graphite all over the back of the paper, and then I tape the paper to the panel and I trace each individual element that I plan to paint along with all the details in each thing. The reason why I do this is because I would rather spend my time painting than trying to draw everything by sight. And I can do that. It would just take me a lot longer. And rather than spending all of that time trying to get everything exactly right, if I can just trace the reference photo that I already took myself, then I would rather do that. There are other ways to do this too, aside from just drawing it by sight, which would be like using a projector or using a grid method. But I don't really have a projector to use for this. I would have to take my projector off of my ceiling in my living room. And the grid is just a little bit more time consuming when I could just print it out and trace everything by hand. And I'm here to tell you there's really nothing wrong with tracing your reference photo. If you want to spend your time painting and not drawing, it's your art and it's up to you how you do it. And like I said at the beginning, I plan to make this a series and to document more of this process. So if you want to see how this painting turns out, then subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss any of the videos from this series. I'm really excited to get going on this painting. It's going to take me a while, but I think it's going to turn out really cool and I have a vision for it. So it's going to be kind of an ongoing project for me for a while. And I can't wait to show you and take you along with me for this process. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.